Hi, Ben McCloskey, cohort 84, here to tell you about a book I just read. But before I start, if you lead people, this stat should make you slightly uncomfortable. 90% say AI is the future, 5% use it well. Almost everyone agrees AI is the future, but almost no one is actually using it. And the gap's not about software, it's about leadership. That's what really hit me with this book. The AI Driven Leader by Jeff Woods. When I picked it up, I expected productivity tips, maybe faster emailing, better summaries. But that's not what this book is about. It's about how leaders think. On page 108, Woods writes, "Great leaders aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones who ask the right questions." And that line stopped me because it shifts AI from being a shortcut to being a thinking partner. Redefining leadership in the AI era. And the core idea is simple. AI doesn't replace leaders. It exposes how leaders think. Surprise number one from the book. AI interviews you. Instead of asking AI for answers, Woods used AI to interview a CEO. The AI asked hard questions. It challenged assumptions. It surfaced blind spots. That made me a little bit uncomfortable because I realized I mostly use AI like a smart intern. Summarize this, rewrite that, check this, please go get me some coffee. Oh, can't do that quite yet, but just wait. Check this. What if it interrogated me instead? Bias, assumptions, blind spots. Chapter 6 goes deep into bias. On page 109, he says confirmation bias becomes a yes man in your mind, and that's pretty dangerous. Even in engineering, even in R&D, we like to think data protects us. It does not. It only protects us if we ask the right questions. That was surprise number one. AI is the most powerful when it disagrees with you. Surprise number two. 5%. Most leaders say AI matters. Very few change behavior. Chapter 14 points out that nearly everyone believed AI was the future, but barely half had done anything meaningful. That's the gap. Awareness is easy. Execution requires discipline. And that's where most organizations stall out. Surprise number 3. Strategic thinking leads efficiency. I thought this would be about speed. It's actually about strategy. On page 141, Woods writes, "This is the power of AI in strategic decision making. AI helps simulate scenarios, stress test decisions, think long term, all in a fraction of a second." And that matters in my world because in regulated medical device testing, we live in short term pressure, deadlines, milestones, customer demands. AI becomes valuable not because it saves minutes, but because it really creates perspective. The book introduced the 0 to 1 shift in the AI empowerment flywheel. Questions, awareness, actions, communications, results. It starts with one simple question. How might AI help me do this? Not what can AI do? The subtle difference matters. It sounds simple, but it's not. Because most leaders jump straight to the tools. What software should we buy? What platform should we adopt? What model should we test? But Wood argues the real leverage is upstream. It's in the question. And if you ask better questions, AI gives you better leverage. If you ask shallow questions, you get shallow output. That was pretty humbling for me because it means the limiting factor is not the model, it's the leader. And that shift is not just theoretical. Woods used Domino's as an example, my kid's personal favorite. Domino's didn't win because they digitized pizza ordering. They won because they reimagined themselves as a technology company that happens to sell pizza. And that's strategic reinvention, not efficiency. And that difference between dabbling and transforming, that's really how you change the world. Now, let me bring this into my personal job. Employer impact, culture, P&L, competitive edge. In my organization, 3 things stand out. First, culture. Fear leads to resistance. Clarity leads to experimentation. If AI feels like a threat, people resist. If it feels like a tool for better thinking, people experiment. On page 230, Wood says, AI is just a tool. It's not the goal. Get that? Leadership framing determines whether this becomes momentum or chaos. Second, financial impact. Faster decisions, better data insights, higher margin services. We process enormous data sets. If AI helps us extract insights faster, simulate performance scenarios, or shorten feedback loops, that directly affects margin. And that's not theoretical. It's operational leverage. Third, trust. In regulated industries, trust is everything. AI adoption must include governance, validation loops, clear boundaries. Without trust, nothing scales. Personally, short term, this changes how I use AI tomorrow. I will use it as an interviewer, a challenger, an analyst. On page 99, Woods writes, by leveraging AI as your thought partner, you can make more informed, data-driven decisions in a fraction of the time. That's just practical. Long term, this is identity work. On page 147, he reminds us leadership is about asking the right questions. That skill compounds. There are risks, for sure. Human judgment, data governance, critical thinking, hallucinations, data leaks, over-reliance. AI is a powerful tool, but you know what? It's not accountable. Leaders are, and that is a critical distinction. Final thought. Will you be in that 5%? This book made me excited about AI tools, but more importantly, it made me more serious about leadership. AI will not replace leaders, but leaders who use AI well will absolutely outpace those who do not. So the real question is not whether AI is coming, it already has. The question is, will you treat it like a shortcut or a thought partner? Will you be in that 5%?